Hello, dear students. How are you all? I hope everyone is doing good and safe at your homes. So, students, I'm going to start with a new chapter that is organisms and their surroundings. Students, suppose you go to a desert and a hilly area in your summer break. So, would you find the same kind of living organisms in both the places? No, because the living organisms of a desert and a hilly area differ a lot. In fact, the non-living components of these two areas also different. Well, let us study about what are living components and what are non-living components. So students, you know that our surroundings include both living and non-living components. So both the factors affect the form and growth of the organisms by interacting with each other. So these biotic and abiotic or living and non-living components will interact each other for the growth and to affect the form and growth of an organism. So the living components includes all the organisms. Okay, the living components include all the organisms like animals, plants, microorganisms, etc. So these are called as biotic components. So these are living components are called as biotic. Biotic means life, and other one is non-living components. So this is non-living component. So the non-living components include sunlight, air, water, soil and temperature. So these are all non-living, right? They do not have a life. So these form the abiotic components of the environment. Abiotic means non-living components. Let us study about habitat. So students, the natural environment in which an organism lives is called its habitat. For example, fishes. So fishes live in the water, right? That is its habitat. So the place where the organism lives or the environment where that organism will live, so we call it as a habitat. For example, human beings. Human beings we will live on the land, right? So that is, we call it as a terrestrial habitat. So if the organisms live in the water, we call it as aquatic habitat, and some organisms will live in the air, like this. So habitat as all the environmental conditions that an organism may need to survive. So this habitat will contain all the necessary conditions that an organism can survive. For example, for an animal, a habitat is able to provide food, water, shelter and a mate to successfully reproduce. For example, if you take fishes, so fishes live in water means, so they will get a food, water, shelter in the water itself, including the mate means the other opposite gender of an organism. Look at this picture, students. So what comes to your mind when you try to draw the picture of a desert? A wide expanses of sand and the scorching sun, right? Even storms and a few plants and animals. Students, have you ever thought how these plants and animals survive in such an harsh environment? Because in desert conditions the temperature is very high. So how can these organisms survive there? So these living organisms possess some special characteristics to withstand the harshness of that environment. ಸೊ ಈ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಹೊಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ. So these special characteristics that enable the plants and animals to survive in a particular environment, so which we call it as a adaptation. So adaptation means, so the special characteristics that enables the plants and animals to survive in a particular environment, so these are called as adaptation. ಸೊ ಆ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಹೊಂದ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಎ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಬೈ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಶ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಟೇಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಎ ಬೀಟಲ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರ ಇದು. beetles so that are found in a dry habitat have a thick and hard outer shell. ಸೊ ನೀವೇ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಈ ತರ ಬೀಟಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಔಟರ್ ಶೆಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಡ್ರೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಮಾಯಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎವಾಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎ ಡ್ರೈ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೆಮ್ ಡ್ರೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ some animals camouflage to protect themselves from the predators. What is this camouflage? Camouflage ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಕೆಮಿಲಿಯಾನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, ಊಸರವಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅದ್ರ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕಲರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದ್ರ ಬಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ಕಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿರತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ರಿಡೇಟರ್ಸ್, ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ತನ್ನನ್ನ ತಿನ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ತನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿ ಕಲರ್ನ ಅದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಸ್ನೇಕ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. Okay, let us study about camouflage. So camouflage means it is the ability of an organism to blend in with its surroundings. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದ್ರ ಬಾಡಿ ಕಲರ್ ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ತರ ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅದೇ ತರ ರಿಸೆಂಬಲ್ ಆಗೋ ತರನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕಾಮನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಈ ಒಂದು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಇಂದ ಸೊ ತಿನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಮೋನಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಟರ್ಫ್ಲೈ. ಸೊ ದ ಮೋನಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಟರ್ಫ್ಲೈ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ ಆರೆಂಜ್ and a black spots, bright orange and a black and white spots on its wings. So this adaptation warns potential predators that the butterfly is poisonous. ಸೊ ಇದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಡಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ತರ ಕಲರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ಸೊ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಈಟನ್. ಈಗ ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಇದನ್ನ ತಿನ್ನೋದಿಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So thus adaptations give the organisms a better chance to survive in their surroundings. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ತುಂಬಾ ದಿನ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ಸ್. Let us now explore the different types of habitats and the adaptations that the organisms living there exhibit. So primarily habitat can be divided into two main types. Okay, as I already told, first one is terrestrial habitat and other one is aquatic habitat. We'll learn about terrestrial habitat. So coming to this terrestrial habitat, so all the terrestrial means so the organisms which is living on the land. Okay, all plants and animals that live on land are called as terrestrial habitat. Okay, ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೀತಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಟೆರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ grasslands, desert, forest and mountains are the different types of terrestrial habitat. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ these living organisms are living on the land. So first comes to grasslands. So in these grasslands, so the grasslands are grassy and they have windy and partly dry areas. So idar grasslands alla so grass irutte, tumba jora gali bೀಸ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ and partly so dry areas. So grasslands can be found all over the world except on the Antarctica region. So because Antarctica region it is very cold, you won't find there any grasslands. So except there you can find a grasslands everywhere. So ಹುಲ್ಲುಗಾವಲು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So they cover about 1/4 of the earth's total land surface. So 1/4 of the earth's land surface is covered by these grasslands. And let us see what are the adaptations made by the plants which are living in this grasslands. And there are the following are some of the adaptations shown by the plants in the grasslands. So these grasslands, as you know that as a grassland do not get a lot of rain. Many of the plants growing here have a small leaves to reduce the loss of water. So if you have seen the grass, you have an idea of that. Okay, they have a small leaves, and it is to reduce the loss of water. In order to get water, the plants have a roots that grow deep into the soil. Okay, another adaptation is, so the roots will grow in deep into the soil. As they have a strong root system, they are not easily destroyed when animals walk on them or eat them. So ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಯೂ shrubs. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ನೋಡೋ ಹಾಗೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಬ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಹರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ತರನೇ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ವೋಂಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಎನಿ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಯೂ shrubs ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಕಾಣೋದು ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್. As it can get too windy in the grasslands, the plants here have a very short stems that bends easily without breaking. Okay, so since wind is passing very fastly, so the stems are very soft, they bend very easily without breaking. And as I told, the strong roots, they have a strong and a deep roots. So the strong roots prevent the plants from being uprooted by the strong wind. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರದ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಗಾಳಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಪ್ರೂಟೆಡ್ by the wind easily. And next, the types of grasses that we have found in grasslands include wild oats, foxtail, purple needle grass. This is purple needle grass. So next, raygrass and buffalo grass. So these are some of the grasses you can find in the grasslands. Now let us see some of the adaptations made in animals. So animals found here show some of the following adaptations. So one is, so you can see here, so these deers. So they have a strong legs that enables them to run away at a high speed. You know about deers, right? So they have a very strong legs that enables them to run away at a high speed from their predators or any danger. So ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಾದರೂ ಡೇಂಜರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ, so they can run very fastly. And they also have a very good high sight. So ತುಂಬಾ high sight ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, high sight to spot the danger. And some animals like antelopes and zebras have a good sense of smell. So smell kuda chanagi identify ಮಾಡಿ. This alerts them to danger nearby. So if there is any danger nearby, so they can identify or they can sense through the smell. And these animals tend to live in herds. Herds means in the groups. So as it is safer than being alone. So most of you have seen that so these deers are always living together. So because it is safer than being alone. And some animals tend to live, some animals burrow into the soil beneath the grass or hide in tufts of grasses. So these animals will be in the beneath the soil ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸೊ ಮೊಲ ಈ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲಾನು, ರ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಆ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ some of these deers, some of the organisms like deers, so which will be hidden in the tufts of grasses. And the body color, so the body color of these animals mostly get camouflaged with the surrounding. ಇದೇನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಬ್ರೌನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಈ ಗಡ್ಡಿ ಬ್ರೌನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಬ್ರೌನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಬಂದಾಗ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಥಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರಾಸ್, ಅದು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಕಲರ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ mostly get camouflaged with the surroundings, making them less susceptible to the predators, and also help them in hunting their prey. Various types of animals are found in the grasslands. They are homes to many herbivorous plants, such as organisms such as bisons, gazelles, zebras, giraffes, rhinoceros, wild horses, deer, and rabbits. And other carnivorous animals like lions, wolves. So these are also found in the grasslands. So this is about the adaptations in the animals and plants of the grasslands. I hope you have understood. Thank you.